to Project Portsmouth. I am recording this about 30 seconds after the last episode, and I think I'm going to call this Year 9 Part 1. Usually I make this the last part of the previous season, but it doesn't make sense. Pre-season is the start for... It's the next season, isn't it? You're not pre-season isn't the end of the last season, it's pre the current season. I'm chatting silly things right now. If you haven't watched last episode, apologies for this episode. I am a little bit drunk. It is Saturday night. It is midnight, and we're going to take you through the pre-season beginning bit. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to get through pre-season tonight. It's already 12:30. I'm probably only going to record this first bit, but I wanted to get this little bit out of the way, get the intro done, get the first section. And then I've just realised there's a few really weird players in our overall best 11. There's a few players I'm really not sure about. But we move. Bayakov is a pick of two players who have made it into our overall best 11. Obviously, Bayakov only goes on the bench. I don't know how he's done that. Like, just by virtue of length of time, he was terrible this season. He was quite good last season. I don't give him enough credit. He got 17 goals in the league league last season, which is actually insane. So credit where credit's due. I haven't given him enough credit potentially. He was terrible this season, but he's made it into the bench of the overall best 11. Obviously that striking position is pretty much nailed on, so fair play to him. Luakima has also made himself the backup to Hoover on the best 11. I think Hoover deserves it. He deserves to be in our best 11. So Elmack in goal, very well deserved. Bajic, I imagine, is probably only one more season away from taking that spot. But for now, Elmack does deserve it. Kiana Hoover, Jack Watmore again. I mean, just look at this. Obviously, we take over here. He's had this many seasons. He was consistent for us for 4 years, and he didn't even play a single league game last season. In fact, he played 2 cup games. We're going to sell him on this season. I've only kept him because of the homegrown at club status. McKenna deserved one of the best pieces of business I've ever done in Football Manager. The only thing is I could have sold him for 30 million a year and a half ago, even though he only made 2 league appearances last season. I had to keep him. I didn't have enough centre backs last year, so I couldn't sell him, so I don't regret my decision. Devine, interesting character. Apparently he's worth 6 million. We sold him for 7.25, up to 9. I think that was the right decision. I always looked at him and I always knew he was never going to be a fantastic player. He was actually good for us. We got him for 275k, played him consistently, although he was a sub for the first 2 seasons for the most part. In the last season he was our main starter and he was very good. Well, he wasn't very good. He was alright. That's why we sold him. Ben Close, our number 1 from the youth academy. From here he was ours. He was fantastic for the most part. We just never really trusted him in the Premier League, and maybe that was warranted. He's done okay in the Championship. He only made 1 appearance. He made 1 appearance in the Championship this season. What have I done? I've ruined him by selling him. 6.4 rated in his only appearance. Excuse me. James Garner absolutely deserves to be there. He's worth 26 million now. Interest him. We could have signed him for about 20 or maybe a little bit less, but he was very good for us. I just didn't like his wages. He wanted over 100k, and he's on 69k now. That's just a rubbing salt in the wounds. He wanted over 100k for us. Cesar Lopez, the most obvious player to have in here. 1.9 million. Can we just remind ourselves? He came into the team, made 5 starts, 8 substitute appearances, a 7.15 average rating. Pretty good in the Championship. Went to the Premier League, 9 assists, 1 goal, 26 starts, and he just improved every single year. Only 1 goal, consistently getting 1 goal. But his assists were off the charts. This season in the Premier League, he wasn't as good as the season before, but the 25, 26 season, what a player. He's got a couple of little gaps, but nothing crazy. He needs to work on his dribbling. We're going to train him on his dribbling. I mean, he is fantastic. Renato Augusto, probably one of the, a little bit controversial, but to be fair, have we ever had any good right wingers? Not really, so I guess we'll give it to him. Barcola, controversial. Never was particularly great. He was okay in that championship season, 10 goals, 3 assists. Never really was great for us. I'm kind of shocked he's in the team. The man, the myth, the legend, Troy Parrott. We're just going to make an offer. We're just going to offer him 30 million, 79. 79 is actually not a bad amount of money for him. I just don't want to spend 79 million on one player. Simple as that. End of season awards. Player of the season goes to Cesar Lopez. Unsurprisingly, best player that we have at the club. He's like the Aubameyang of Portsmouth. Sent him on a couple of leadership courses. I don't think I'm going to send him on again. He's already done 2. Or we're just going to accept he's never going to be a full captain. But what a player he is. Renato Augusto gets 2nd. Mihalic in 3rd place. Team of the season, Linez, Hlozek, Renato Augusto and Mihalic in the top 4. Barão and Lopez, deserved. Should be the other way around, but deserved. Rodriguez, Armstrong, Martinez, Luquima and Bajic. Goal of the season was against Southampton, actually. We can't watch it. Why can't we watch it? That is so weird. Usually you can watch it. Signing of the season, Barão, 21.5 million, now worth double. Very good business, if I may say so myself. And Cesar Lopez gets himself Young Player of the Season. He's 23 now, but that's fine. Stats, top goal scorer, Mihalic. Average rating, Cesar Lopez. Assists, Lopez and Linez. We'll give him credit, Linez was good at the end of the season. Bayakov and Lopez both getting a red card. Ooh, naughty, naughty, naughty. Review. We were expected to only just get top half finish. We managed to get continental football. 4th round and quarter-final. Oh yeah, 4th round of the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Quarter-final out of the Europa League. 5th in the league. And we were knocked out in the group stage, of course, of the Champions League. Match of the season. 5-0 win against Blackburn. We lost 3-0 against Leicester. Our stadium is pretty much full. We do need to get a new one at some point, but we'll see what the expectations are if they want that as well. They haven't specifically said it. Okay, so what do we want? Top half of the Premier League. I can't believe it. I'm so delighted that they don't have high expectations, because I can always do better than what they say. Develop players using the club's youth system. They don't really care that much though. Qualify for the Champions League within 3 seasons. I'm happy with everything you've just said. End of season team meeting. We're going to qualify for the Europa League. They're saying that's too much. We've got a few players who are not happy about that, but that's what I expect. If you don't want to do it, then that's your problem. We had a lot of injuries this year, but nothing that was particularly kind of season ending. We had, obviously, I mean, we know Linez is injury prone, but 11 injuries. I didn't even realise. Are we in date order? We are now. Pulled hamstring, pulled groin, tight groin, pulled thigh, tight thigh, bruised shin. He had 2 moderate injuries when he was with us. Damaged foot for 2 weeks and a pulled hamstring for 2 weeks. So, I mean, he never had any significant length of time out, but he just gets injured all the time. Obviously, yeah, Benjamin broke his ankle, but he's I don't know what to do about him. I'm gonna sell him, I think, because he's never gonna make it. He's worth 11 million. He's from our youth academy. He was one of our players who looked like he's gonna be good. Never really hit it off. Excuse that. But yeah, we've got a couple of players, a couple of injuries. End of squad, end of season break. 28th of June they come back. Good little chance. Obviously, we could improve our coaching, but just look at our staff. I mean, our staff is insane. Our coaching team is amazing. Our scouts probably would be pretty good if I get 2 more in. I'm actually going to place an advert for a better scout. And to be honest, I don't really care about... I should care more because we keep getting injuries. I might try and get one more physio. Yeah, they're going to let us have one more physio, so I'm actually going to place an advert for one as well. We could probably do with that. Did that work? Yeah. We can get one more physio. So, what's the plan? The plan is to rebuild a little bit. Only need a couple more additions and maybe a couple of squad players. 2 more first team players and 2 more squad players will probably be enough. And we need to sell like 8-9 players. One thing I do want to mention, because I don't know if I've ever shown you, is our hot prospect, Mark Gardner. I have shown you him, I think, a couple of times, but maybe not in enough depth. This guy, right? It says capped under 20 level. I wonder if it will show us how many times. I don't know why it doesn't show us. But he's been playing really well in the under 23. He's been called up to the under 20 squad. He has got some really good attributes. He's very quick. He's got good dribbling, good work rate, good determination. He's got a few gaps, but he's 18. I think this guy could be really good. 36. Yeah, under 20 European Elite League. I think that's international. He's made 1 appearance, 1 goal. 39 appearances for the under 23s. Under 23s, he's 18. 24 goals, 7 assists. This guy is gonna be good. McKenna, I think McKenna's got to go. We need to revamp because Rafa's not getting enough game time, so we need to get him out of the club and let Rafa be our 4th choice centre back, and hopefully he'll still get plenty of game time. But we need to get some Deadwood out. And McKenna, unfortunately, is Deadwood. So my dad's actually snoring really loud right now. You can probably pick it up. That's one of the negatives of staying at home, is that they snore. I can't talk. I snore ridiculous amounts. So what I'm probably going to do here is I'm going to end not the end of the episode. I'm going to end this section. I will come back, and probably the next time you see me will be another day. It could even be a couple of days in the future. You never know. It could be a week in the future. You never know. Probably not. I'm going to play a lot of this tonight, I imagine. I just need to stop recording because I feel a bit weird. So, if you have enjoyed this so far, it's not the end of an episode, Stan. You don't need to do that. If you have enjoyed this, so just leave a like now. I never ask for midway for episodes. You know what? Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Just go subscribe, and I'll see you in just a second. Alright guys, so we are back with the next part of this episode. Recording this episode 6 days, this next part 6 days later, because you know, why not? I'd recorded so many in advance, so we are here. I've just spent the last hour finishing off. Well, I spent about an hour, 2 hours after the last episode going through, and I've probably done the last 4 in-game weeks this evening. I'm recording this on Friday night. This is probably going out Tuesday, I imagine, but recording it on Friday. Now, a couple of things to show you. Well, actually, quite a lot to show you. I've already shown you quite a bit in the last part. I've just had a little rewatch of some of it. This is the pre-season prediction. Predicted to finish 7th, which I think is good. I think that's the highest we've been. I think 9th was last. Good start. 9th last season. Also, one thing to mention, I have changed my microphone settings because I realised I was very quiet last time. It's too late, and I realised I'd recorded 4 episodes without even realising. So that's why I turned the volume of the music down in the last episodes. I'll be turning it back up for this one. Well, I won't actually, because the last part will be too quiet. Irrelevant. I am chatting so much crap. So, where are we? Obviously, this Media Dream 11, we've got Cesar Lopez, who is just one of the best players in the world. What a legend. He's wanted by Chelsea, Man United and Tottenham. What a guy. We're going to be trying to keep hold of him. Renato Augusto is one of the key players in the league as well, but he is injured. Let's have a little look at. Should you have a little look at him, Renato Augusto? He has broken his leg. We can actually go to his medical report. Excuse me. He has been. Where does it say it? He was injured a month ago. So he's been injured for a month, and he's still got another 3 to 4 months before he's fit, which is amazing. Obviously, he's going to miss probably until Christmas. He's amazing. He's losing his bravery. He's going to lose his physicals, but he's a good player. He should bounce back strong. We do need to renew his contract. I'm going to do that probably in the next couple of months in the game. Well, definitely before Christmas anyway. So that's where we're going to predict to finish. I'll take you first of all, just have a look at the finances so you can have a look what's going on. So overall balance 73 million, looking really good. Our wage budget has gone up significantly. We can actually have a look at that on team detailed. Bottom finance, we are the 10th highest team in terms of salary now. It has gone up quite a bit, but if you look, we see it's still 20 million off Brighton in 7th. Brighton in 7th, that is crazy. But yeah, we're still quite a way off them. And obviously we're very much away off of the top 4, especially, maybe the top 5 as well. Really far off, but we move. It looks like Rashford scored a hat-trick in the first game of the season. So look at transfers. There's still some ongoing. I'm going to take you back just a little bit because we're looking at last season's now, but a couple of our transfers went through before it ticked over. So obviously, I think you've seen some of these. Gilmore's obviously gone. You've already seen these. The one you haven't seen is Hlozek. No, you have seen that. What am I talking about? I'm so confused. Ignore me. It must have changed back to the right season. So, don't know what's going on here. We have basically broke even on transfers. I do want to potentially do one more, but I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to do it. We've done some really fantastic business. I'm going to start with the outs because there's a few really interesting ones. We're going to quickly just show you the loans. Jamie Rudd, one of our good youngsters, good potential, but he's not ready for the team. He actually has played for the team. He made 2 appearances in the Premier League for us, both off the bench. He also made 4 appearances in the Champions League. So he has made appearances, he's just not ready to play yet. So he's gone to our affiliate club Colchester in League One. Our goalkeepers, Alexis and Partnan Wu, gone to Spain and the Championship in Spain respectively. A couple of players going out as well. Rafa, who obviously we spent big money on at the time. He's just not. I like him a lot. He's going to be my 5th choice centre back, so I don't want to leave him here without getting game time. So we're moving him on. Obviously, Hassouni, who we got in for free, we've loaned him to Cardiff. Okay, then the most important ones. We've got Hardley. He's been with us since the start. I think we bought him years ago. He's gone. He just didn't develop enough, unfortunately. Scott McKenna, obviously our club captain, has gone to Celtic. Obviously, it's quite a nice little thing to happen. Go back to Scotland. We got 8 million, potentially rising to 10 million. Obviously, it's not quite the 30 that we got offered a year and a half before that. But again, we had quite a lot of defenders, and he wasn't going to get any game time. A bit of an odd one. Legali now leaving for up to 9.5 million. He's technically just not a good enough player. He's got good mentals, good physicals, just pretty good. But he's never going to be able to really cut it for us, despite being homegrown. It's a bit of a shame. Obviously, we made good profit on him, so shame to see him go after a really good one. We had a really good one season in the Prem, didn't he? He got 14 goals in the Premier League in 33 appearances. He was really, really good, but he's just never going to get to the heights we need. We then let Caruso go for a transfer rising to 21.5 million. Bit of an interesting one. He played better than what his attributes would suggest. He's always been pretty good for us, consistent, despite being largely a substitute this whole time. But we got offered 17 million, a transfer rising to 21.5. I couldn't say no. Fernandez, who we loaned to Crystal Palace last year, they had an option to buy for 24.5 million. And to be honest, We've got so many good midfielders that I just thought 24.5 million, maybe it's not quite worth it. But he's 29 years old, and he's never really going to be featuring that much, so I thought it was fair to move him on. This happens every time. Every time I start recording, I get a yawn and come on. Now, we have absolutely mugged off America. Bayakov, transfer, starting at 30.5 million, rising to 33.5 million. Bayakov. I mean, he has some really good things here, like hidden attributes. He's obviously enjoys big matches, very consistent. Is he? Like, he had one. He's incredibly inconsistent, I would argue. Granted, he had a lot of substitute appearances, 11 starts, 11 sub appearances, but only 3 goals is not good enough. We managed to get 30 million for him. I'll take it and I will run. So, transfer. What have we done in the market? I've just literally bought in Harvey Barnes on loan. Mainly just because we don't really have many wingers and Renato Augusto is injured, so he's like our backup. So Harvey Barnes is like our third choice winger for this season. He can play on either side really well and in the middle, and he's just a really good option to have. He's on loan. We're paying a lot of wages, to be fair. We are paying like 150k a week, and we're also paying 110k a week, and also 150k a month. So we are paying quite a lot of money for him, but we do need that backup, and he's homegrown in nation, so that's quite nice. Oh, we got Hasuni and Brill. Don't know if you've seen Brill. You might have seen Hasuni. We brought him in. He's got good potential. 17 finishing. He could be a good little player. We paid nothing for him, so hopefully he'll just develop into a player who's worth 15-20 million. We can sell him on if he isn't good enough to keep. Then we got Jan Brill, which is one of my favourite signings. I didn't realise how good he was going to be. 22 years old. Apparently he's worth 45 million. We got him for free. I mean, that is pretty insane. He will be like maybe our third choice centre back. So he'll be getting plenty of game time. Don't get me wrong. Plenty of game time. Obviously we've got Jose Ramos. Did I show you these? I feel like I might be repeating myself. I didn't watch the whole of the episode, the bit that I recorded before this, but we've got Jose Ramos. I've definitely shown you him. This is why I think I have shown you, because I remember doing this bit. But yeah, we've got him in. He should be pretty good as in the under 23s. Hellborg. Do you know what? Apologies if you have already seen this. I think this guy's really good. We bought him in for 28.5 million on the dot. Apparently he's worth 47 now. He's a fantastic player. He's rotational. He's not a guaranteed start because he plays a very similar role to Cesar Lopez, who is our number 1. And it would be a bit... I don't know how well it would work to have him and Cesar Lopez together. It might work. I might give it a go. But if you've seen the big one, you've seen the big one. Troy Parrott has returned. Now, disappointed he's not homegrown at club, because we had him for 3 years when he was 17, 18 and 19, or 18, 19, 20. He should be homegrown at club. He's not. He's never really been a consistent starter in the Premier League because of obviously Harry Kane, but he's never done too bad. He was very good obviously with us in the Championship. I'm hoping he can now, with regular game time, be fantastic in the Premier League. Obviously 71 million, probably slightly overpaid. But I wanted to get him back for ages, and we finally could afford him, so I bought him. And I'm not ashamed of what I did. It's on a lot of wages, 155k a week. But I have good high hopes that he can do a really good job, and he's loved by the club. So yeah, I think there's actually a thing for this, isn't there? The fans love him. Yeah, the fans like the player. They used to love him, now they just like him. So we brought him in. That's a lot of money spent on one player, but I think it's going to be worth it. That might be the only one you haven't seen, to be fair. I feel like all of these are wrapped up fairly early, so apologies for that. But yeah, we're looking good in terms of other transfers. We've got a couple that I'm probably not going to go ahead with. I just wanted to test the waters. Like Marcelo, we're not going to be able to get him. I just made a £30 million offer just for sort of bants. He's listed for 62. I can't afford that. we just bought this guy who won't be joining us yet, but we bought him for 3.5 million on a release clause. I do think he is obviously he's not at the level to play for us just yet, but for 3.5 million, and he'll be homegrown at club. I think he'll be good. We'll give him a few years, see how he gets on. We do have Medeiros joining us as well. We paid his release clause, so I think how much did we pay for him? I can't remember how much we literally got him on a free. He's a striker who can play on the right. He's obviously coming in at free. I think he'll be really good. He's 17 years old. He's already capped under 20 levels, so I think he'll be really good. So they're obviously ones that are going to be coming in, joining us over the course of the next year. Sheree isn't joining us for another year. Madeira isn't joining us until January. But yeah, that's what we're doing at the moment. We will take you through pre-season. We had, to be honest, obviously we haven't conceded. We've had some for the majority of these, really easy games, and we've actually struggled in a couple of them. We drew 0-0 with our affiliate Colchester, and we played a fairly strong, well, pretty much our strongest team for the most part. And we also struggled against this team in the second tier of Spain. We struggled, to be honest. I changed to the Gegenpress for the Fenerbahce game, the system that we had originally before. So like this, I've just added a couple of little bits and bobs to it. We played a lot better with this, so I might stick with this for the first game of the season. Obviously the other system is this one, which I've been playing most of the season, but I've switched back to this one. We're going to give it a go. I'm just going to get ready to go into the game, because we are going to play the first game of the season. Don't know what else there is to really show you. Just you can have a look at our see anyone who no one opposes me. Mikado, Barnes and Kubo have no opinion of me, but no one has any problems. So that's all very nice to see. Schedule, pretty easy start to the season, but we have a very tough October, and we have a very tough December, and potentially January. So hopefully we can do well. Yeah, well, I wonder if I want to quickly check before we get into the one and only game of this episode. Did anyone go out on a free? Did anyone go out as released? Okay, these are the players we released. The only one there's two that are a bit weird. Maybe three. Oliver Henry looked like a really good goalkeeper at one point, and to be honest, he's not a bad goalkeeper, but 21 years old, we can't keep him on. So two pieces of really bad business I've done over my time here. Fran Tomek, 4.6 million we paid, and we let him go for a free. Really bad business. And arguably even worse business was Lee Manley. We bought him. He's still a free agent. That just goes to show, doesn't it? We paid 8 million from West Ham. 8 million we paid for him. I remember that 17 tackling. I swear he's had 17 tackling since I bought him, and that's why I bought him. The rest of his stats are terrible. So unfortunately, not great in terms of that business. But we've got 2 future transfers. I haven't done as many youth transfers as I would have liked over the last few years, so hopefully this is a good opportunity. Barnes is going to start. Klozek is injured, slightly injured. Obviously, Lopez has to play without a shadow of a doubt. We're going to put Barral next to him because Barral is probably one of our best players. Do you know what? I'm actually not. I'm going to put Lopez there, and I'm actually just going to put our new signing, Helleborg, in there as an advanced playmaker. And obviously we have Skip or Bar. We'll put Bar in actually, because Bar's sort of our probably our number one in that position. And I think that might be the team we go with. Line's had a lot of interest recently, but a couple of players have cooled down now. I think we had Dortmund and Barcelona looking at him as well. Make sure our team is all set up, ready to go. Mars is now my first choice right back. I think he has been now for the last few months of the game. Sort of the last 2 months of the season. But it is official. He is my number one. Just need to quickly rearrange the bench. So we've got 4, 5, 6. We don't actually have a 7th sub, so I'm just going to quickly make that. I'm going to put Mjalic on the bench. He's obviously our backup striker. We have yeah, oh wait, Armstrong. We can change the centre back because I'm going to put Armstrong and Martinez as a partnership. They've been really good last season. No need to change them. Brill is our third choice. He goes in there. In terms of the rest of the team, we don't really have it when I play on the wing. We do have Benjamin, who's come from our academy, I believe. Let's quickly check. He came from our academy. He's been non-stop loans, and he's not good enough. Don't get me wrong, but apparently he's worth 8 million. I don't know where they're getting that from. I'm going to keep him around in the squad this season because he's homegrown and he can play on the wings, albeit not very well. But if we need him, he's there if we get any injuries. That does mean that Samuel drops to the bench. Kubo, unfortunately, might miss out on this. We'll take Skip off because Lopez can drop down. We'll put Kubo on there. So we do need someone who can play a bit more forward thinking if we need to change formation. So last team we're going to go with. Oh, wait, no, I can't leave Barrow out. Okay, Aquilon comes out. I've got too many good midfielders. My midfielders are insane. So yeah, we're going to go with that. Let's get into the game. I don't know how this is going to go because I've only had one game with the Gegenpress and we did beat Fenerbahce 4-0 with it. Whether that's a sign of things to come, I don't know. But we get into the game. We move. And I hope we can have a really good start to the season. I'd like to pick up some really early points. Troy Parrott running through very early on. And he's got himself assists for Linez within 5 minutes of the season. And what a start that is. It's one of the best starts you can hope for. Hellborg with a great ball to Parrott. Parrott with a nice little cut back into Linez. Smash it in the near post. I know it's near post, but the keeper could do nothing about it. What a start. Keep this up, boys. Keep this up. Got a throw in to deal with. It's dealt with very nicely. Lopez now have a chance to get the ball away. Mars, a long ball over to Parrott, who is on side. He skips around his man. And what a goal that would have been, but Rodak collects. And so far, I think they've had a little bit more of the ball, but we've been all over this game in terms of chance creation. Mars with a chance to get the ball into the box. Bar pass it to Lopez, into Rodriguez. Linez is through now with a great opportunity. And Troy Parrott's first goal after coming back to the club from a Harvey Barnes assist, obviously the player on loan. This has been a great start to the game. Troy Parrott getting his first goal. I'm delighted for him. Fan favourite, my favourite, one of my favourite players, all the whole save. Absolutely delighted. I just do want to quickly check that I'm still recording. Yeah, cool. It's been a very long episode so far. The last part was like 17 minutes. This part's 19 minutes. But after this game, we'll be ending the episode. But probably another opportunity to attack now. Hellberg running really nicely. Lopez with a chance. He doesn't score very often. He hits the crossbar. Might have been tipped onto the crossbar. It was. Barnes picks it up. Barnes is a little bit old, but like I said, I'm not going to sign him. I can't remember if there was an option to buy or a do you know what? There might have been a mandatory to buy. Let me just quickly check. No. Wait, I swear there was. No, there isn't. Okay, cool. There was one player that we were going to get, but we had to sign him for like 35 million. He was 29, I think. And I was like, he was worth 50 million. I just don't think 35 million on that sort of age is what we need in this club. We need to be constantly thinking about how can we profit. You know, I don't, at the moment for the next 2 seasons or so, we do need a high turnaround of players. Except we don't have many homegrown club players at the moment. It caused us issues last year. Shouldn't do too much this year. But eventually, when we got a good enough team, we'll settle down. But we've actually conceded to Moussa Dembele. It's a really good goal from him. I wonder how old he is now. 31? 31. Still a good little player. But we have conceded, which is a bit worrying. We do need to tighten up a little bit. I'm going to tell him to show some passion. Mars is struggling with stamina. He's been struggling with stamina all pre-season. I don't really know what's going on with him. Don't really want to change too much. They might have an opportunity to get the ball over the top. They do. We should be able to defend this. We do. Well, Bajic gets us out of trouble. I'm going to bring on Akima, slightly better defensively. Anywhere else we can make some changes. I think we'll bring on Mialic just because we can. I think we'll put Hellborg back onto support. Anything we can change? I guess we can make our fullbacks into fullbacks rather than wingbacks. Actually, Luakima's probably better as a wingback on defend. Anything else? Harvey Barnes. We don't have any other wingers on the bench. I think we'll just go like that. We'll just go like that. Our team is definitely good enough to win this game. I don't know why we're struggling as much as we are. After what was a fantastic start, we've been all over this game. Just gonna give them a little tighten up. We are gonna time waste a bit more now. This is just what I probably shouldn't do this too much. This is kind of just how I play towards the end of the games. Just try and sit back and keep things under control. It does obviously invite a bit more pressure, but we can usually deal with it. Can we hit them on the break though? I know we're not specifically trying to do that, but if we get the opportunity, there's no reason why we shouldn't. Mihalic picks up the ball, a really good hold-up play, and when Mihalic now has an opportunity over the top, and he manages to score, he's going to be good competition. I mean, this guy arguably is better than Parrott. Like, look at this guy. He's not obviously. How can you look at that and say he's not as good as Parrott? Like, this guy is actually insane. He's not as good at crossing, dribbling, or finishing, which are arguably very important for a striker. He's not as much of a leader, not as aggressive, and not as much anticipation. Not as good at jumping, and not quite as agile. Everything else, he trumps Parrott. He's going to struggle. Parrott's going to struggle to keep his place as he's consistent. He will probably start the next game because of the fact that he did score in his first start, and he is arguably a better player. He's new to, we've known him at the club, but Mihalic is right on Parrott's tail. We don't be surprised if Mihalic gets plenty of starts this season. I can't really fit two strikers in, but Barnes here, an opportunity to cut it back. Can Mihalic get a ball over to Linus? Mihalic is staking a claim. If last season he was top goal scorer, wasn't he? Got the golden boot last season. Linus though getting his second goal of the game and the season, and highlight straight from kickoff. We go more defensive and we score 2 goals. We almost concede though, but hopefully the highlight ends and we can move on, finish the game. We invited a lot more pressure, but we still won 4-1, and that puts us second in the table. Brighton must have got a very good result. We'll see that in a second. Yeah, very nice result, lads. A couple of outstanding performances, and Barnes impressed on his debut. Rudd had a good game against Tranmere. It's always good to see Linus. Obviously, he struggled with us last season to really kick on after what was a very good previous 5 years. He didn't do particularly great, but he's already matched his goal tally. In what was 28 starts last season, in one start, he's already scored as many goals as last season. So good things to come from him, I hope. And that'd be very nice. Now, what I'm going to do... Wow. Look at this guy. He is insane. Inside forward. Or an inverted winger. He's insane. We can't afford him. I'm going to add him to shortlist maybe for the summer. Next summer we can have a look. Because we do need to be... Next summer is a summer where we need to be literally pushing on as if we are one of the best teams in the world. This guy's a good championship player. Nah. We're looking at players anyway. Anyway. Schedule. What we're going to do, no real interesting games. What I'll do is I'll come back for the Euro Cup group stage game if we get an interesting draw. If we don't, we might just come back for Manchester United. And maybe Liverpool, because it's been a long time between those games. Especially because we might have a Carabao Cup 4th round in there. Maybe not. But I might come back for Liverpool and Manchester United just to get through, depending on what our group stage. Maybe I'll come back for this group stage game. Just depends who we get in our group. If we get like Real Madrid or something, then yeah, we'll play them. So, apologies if there's anything you wanted to see that you haven't seen. I think I've shown you most of the things. I might just quickly show you the development. We've obviously got quite a lot of players with high potentials. Mark Gardner, who is our hot prospect, not developing that much at the moment, but he's obviously capped at under 21 level. He's got a good future. I have good feeling about him. He scored in 5 appearances. He got 3 goals and 2 assists in the under 20 World Cup. So there's a future for him, and we've got a few good players as well. We're knocking about Darren Jones, a young goalkeeper. We've had young goalkeepers all over the years, but we're still waiting for that one gem from our youth academy. We haven't quite had it yet. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode. It's been really weird recording this because it's literally like almost a week between part 1 and part 2 of this episode. But if you have enjoyed, please leave a like on the video. Remember, if we don't get 10 subscribers by the end of season 9, I will be ending this series. I'm still going to play this series. Maybe I'll do a recap every season or something, but I will be ending this series if I don't get 10 subscribers, just because I want to see sort of the interaction. There's been no don't get me wrong, I still like doing this, but there's been no interaction recently, no comments, no likes, and on the analytics where you can see the views, it always says like 25 seconds, so I might get 2 views with a combined 40-second watch time, which is I don't get it, like how the intros, to be honest, the intro to Project Portsmouth is so bad. I might actually just stop doing it, the intro, or I mean, you click on the video and then don't watch it. I don't know, I don't get it, but yeah, if you do enjoy, if you're watching this now, you are a real one. If you're watching now, comment pineapples. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who has watched, even if they're not watching as much now. I appreciate everyone, and please subscribe to my channel because it does mean a lot. And take care and goodbye.